Hello my friends, how are you all? This is your friend JAGJIT. जय के नाम से जाने वाला man with a magic wand. Dear my friends, I'm joining you live on YouTube. By the time you receive it, it won't be any live anymore. Now my friends, thank you very much for your comments and thank you very much for appreciating my work. Thank you very much. It is all because of your good comments that I'm coming back in the subject with English. Dear friends, now what I'm going to discuss with you today is all about the Bhavas. It is all about the Bhavas and it is all about the predestined karmas. It is a very good saying by Saint Tulsidas. It is said like पहले रचियो प्रारब्ध पीछे दियो शरीर तुलसी चिंता क्यों करे प्रेम से बचो रघुबीर. It was prior to your birth, your destiny was written. So don't even be scared about what is going to happen. Just purely pray to your Lord. Now, coming back to the destiny. Now, this is the thing what we are looking at in North Indian birth chart. First thing, let me explain to you what is the subject Bhava or houses. Now, Bhava in North Indian chart, the beauty is it always remains consistent. It never changes. And when we say physics, algebra, geometry, science, any kind of science or maths, they have a set formula. So this is a set formula. Number one, that bhavas never change. Formula number one, bhava never changes. This will always be bhava. I have written it in the Roman numerals so that it never confuses you. Dear friends, I would request you, I can even put a screenshot and you can save it, but it won't make any difference to you. As good as it is going to make difference if you watch my first video where I had given the Pythagoras theorem and how we make kundli with that Pythagoras theorem. Now what I'm saying to you is, after the Pythagoras theorem, what we see is the rising sign of a person, which is also called the ascendant. This is also called Lagna in Hindi. It never changes. This will always remain house number 1. This will always remain house number 2. This will always remain house number 3. This will always remain house number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Likewise, now I will make you understand it more deeply. It is rule number 2, my friends. Each house is 30 degrees of a sphere. Each house is 30 degrees of a sphere. So we're talking about 30 degrees. Going to house number 2, we enter into 60 degrees. Leaving the house, we enter into 60 degrees over here. We enter 61, 62, 63. Likewise, leaving the house number 3, we go to 90 degrees. Coming to the house of 4, when we are going to leave the house number 4, it will be 121 degrees in house number 5. Likewise, over here, you'll see addition of 30 degrees. 30 degrees, 30 degrees, 30 degrees, 30 degrees, 30 degrees, and this is the final destination where we say tata bye bye to everybody. Now, what we are coming up to is the understanding is Lagna or ascendant never changes. This is the place where your soul has met your body. You can say a cosmic journey, you can say a journey of your soul, you can say long lives taken to take this birth again. This is the place where your soul has met your body. It never changes. The degrees always changes. The star sign or the zodiac sign always changes. Not to confuse you, I have marked with the Roman numerals. This is Bhavas. Now, This was the rule number 2. It is 30 degrees. Whatever we have seen is 30 degrees. Rule number 3, my friends. This is very, very, very important. Believe me, if you understand this rule number 3, you are the winner in astrology. In astrology, we go always anti-clockwise. In North Indian chart, we always go anti-clockwise. You would have seen anybody asking you for prior accident, prior this thing, prior that thing, is prediction over the past. Prediction over the past is very, very, very easy to make for a learned person. For a person to know where you are coming from. Believe me, my friends, if possible, I'm going to take a testimony and I'm going to put it in the link where I will tell you the people how they were astonished to know how their soul has met and what they used to dream of. This is all predestined karmas. Making the things come to life over here. We are talking about the Bhavas. This is Bhava number 1. I'm not going to explain very, very deeply today, but this is the house of self, body, and it is ruled by Mars. It is the physique of a person. House number 2, it deals with the family of a person. House number 3, it deals with the siblings. House number 4, it deals with mother. House number 5, it deals with the children's. 6, it deals with the enemies. Spouse, number 7. Number 8 is a bit complicated. What we can say is it deals with the studies as well as the witchcraft as well as diseases. 8th house is lot more to be explored. 8th house is lot more to be explored, and it helps the 10th house. 8th house always helps the 10th house. This is, we are going to talk about it in the future, but always remember, we cannot give it as a set formula, but 8th house always helps the 10th house. This is the house for long travels, father. This is the house in Hindi we call Parakram. In English we can say how good you will be having your designations, or how well you will be known for your designation. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was very good as a bodybuilder. As a mayor, I cannot comment anything, but Arnold Schwarzenegger, or you can say any other person, or you can even say like our current Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. He is excellent as a Prime Minister, but he wasn't as good as he was at the previous thing. But he had to pass for his karmas long cycle. This is house number 11. This is the house of gains, and accordingly is over here the house of death, house of upper knowledge, the house of witchcraft. This and this again has to be studied. This is a lot many things to do with house number 10 and 12. House number 8 has got lot many things to do with house number 10 and 12. So my friends, I hope the thing has came little bit clearer to you. When we are talking about bhavas, we are completely considering about bhavas, and in bhavas never changes. This will always remain bhava number 1. This will always remain bhava number 2. This will always remain bhava number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is always anti-clockwise. We don't go clockwise, we go anti-clockwise. And each bhava is 30 degrees. Each bhava is of 30 degrees. You would have seen over here like 0 degree to 30, 31 to 60, 61 to 90, 91 to 120, 121 to 150, 151 to 180. Likewise, going again over here until 360 degree. A lifespan of a person was given with Vimshottari Dasha is 120 years. Accordingly, the Dashas were marked. Accordingly, the Kalpurusha was assembled. Accordingly, lot many calculations were made. Lot many formulas were set up. Now, what we are discussing only about Bhava in houses. I hope, my friends, this was very clear with you. The Bhava will not change. The Rashi will always change. We are going to discuss about the Rashi in our coming video. This is about Bhava or houses. So I hope, my friends, you have understood that we go anti-clockwise. Each Bhava is 30 degrees. House number 1 is ascendant or the rising sign of your sun. Then what all has to do, we are going to do with deeper thing. We are going to do deeper thing because only this doesn't only deals with mother, it also deals with property and possessions. It also deals with the car. It also deals with lot many things. We are going to study deeper. This is just a layer upon layer. We are seeing 60 layers when we want to see a particular chart, even the rebirth of a child, even what we want to see is what was his past life, that can be also understood. But we are not going to go deeper into those subjects. This will always, there are a lot many ways to explore it. So, limiting my topic to the bhavas, bhava will always be the same, it will never change. There are only 12 bhavas, there is no 13th bhava. Only 12 bhavas, no more than 12 bhavas. It is only 12 bhavas, no 13 bhava. If you are getting a person who says, 13 bhav, that means he is a fake pandit. Ponga ponga, you can say. This is, you have to set in your mind. Each bhava is 30 degrees. We go anti-clockwise and there are only 12 bhavas. Bhavas never changes. So, my friend, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for giving your time. If you haven't subscribed, kindly please do subscribe. Let me be encouraged always as you have kept me encouraged in past. Thank you very much once again.